Rock on, acknowledge my song, bring my posse along to the party, cause danger zone. From the heart is in effect, so I say buddy, study, think and learn, dig the move we made. Stunning those that just can't behave, discipline. Here's a hint, a clue from the crew and too tough. All up in you with the formula coming from me, cause no one told ya of a logo of serious saying, this ain't no joke, Jimmy, I ain't playing. I'm hardcore, straight up raw. I'm the overlord, I door clocking. But no, as if you didn't know, fronting on the scene when it's time to get.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to SPO City. My name's Robbie Illuminati. I'm a sort of a professional wrestler. I'm an injured pro wrestler. I'm a promoter. I'm a dad. I'm a podcaster. And we are so happy to be here tonight and welcome you back to SPO City. We took a little break last week to kind of recalibrate after our big show at Harris. And our guys, BJ and Ginger, and Chef the Ref, they covered our show at Harris, and they did a great job, so they really want to give some props up to them right now. And welcome my brother, Johnny Kashmere. Where you at, buddy?
What's up, bro? Happy to be here.
It's great to be here, bud. Congratulations on a great show last week. I just want to thank you again for everything, and congratulate you on the school as well.
Man,
the Pro Wrestling Star Academy.
This is exciting, man. We got a school. It's coming back. It's been years since we had a school, and you know, some of the fans have met some of our students already. People like Keith Fitness, Kid Legend. People like Mark Angel was one of our students back in the day. And there's so many more. And it's just so neat that it's all coming back full circle. And we have a lot of old heads from the old Animal House that I trained at with Trent Acid and Wife Beater back in 98, 99 in Philly with the Pit Bulls.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where we met.
Yeah, and guys I trained with there, like Amadeus and stuff.
Wife
and then guys I met along the way, like Mike Trash.
All those guys
Mitch.
there, yeah.
It's amazing, man. So just check us out at SPO Wrestling. DM us. Just DM us at SPO Wrestling, and we will give you information about the school.
Yeah, if you ever dreamed of being a pro wrestler or get involved in this amazing business, it's going to be a great place to learn. We're going to try to teach everybody not just what goes on in the ring, but the ins and outs of the business aspect of things, marketing yourself on social media, branding, character work, development, financial literacy. It's going to be very important. Johnny and I have been really blessed to be involved. Basically, I grew up in pro wrestling, and I didn't have a guide. Thank you, Danger Ginger, and you're very welcome, buddy. I learned from mistakes, and Skillz the Great. What's up, buddy?
What's going on? Boom, boom, boom. We're in the building.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to the Pro Wrestling Star Academy in Mount Holly, New Jersey. For anybody that is looking to get involved in professional wrestling, or maybe he's already involved and is looking to get some polish, find a place to get their reps in, work out with a different crew of guys. We're willing to work with anybody with any level of experience. Really, everybody's entitled to have a dream, and maybe not for everybody. It might not be in the ring, and that's why we were going to try to offer opportunities of all different types to people that are interested in being involved. If you have it inside of you and you really want it, it's possible. Anything's really possible.
Absolutely.
So well, if we can do that, if that's our way to give back and pay forward how fortunate we've been in this business, then it's certainly a blessing.
Yes.
And speaking of blessings, tonight we have a really amazing guest. Back at our first event at Harris, back in November, there was a table with a huge crowd around it.
Wow,
and Von Hayes, what's up, Von Hayes? There was a table with a huge crowd around it, and kids and grown-ups and the mayor and Mrs. Roots and everybody, and they're all eating this crazy-looking cotton candy. Yeah. So I go over to the table, and Michael Connor, our public relations manager for SPO, says, Robbie, I'd like you to meet Tone Love from TUFF Crew. And he brings me over, and It's Tone Love from TUFF Crew, and he was there at our show, and I couldn't believe it. So Tone and I got into talking. He told me about his great nonprofit, about all the great things he stood for, and I introduced him to Johnny, and now Tone, Runce, and I run Nana's Candy Clouds. They are our proud nonprofit partners at SPO Wrestling. So tonight on the Spokecast, it really is an honor and a privilege for all three of us as people that love Philadelphia, that love hip-hop, and love everything this man stands for, to welcome. He is a pioneer of Philadelphia hip-hop. When you mention the most famous songs in the history of the city of Philadelphia, you can only talk about some songs that are in a different era. Songs like Summertime. Songs like I'm a Hustler. Songs like My Part of Town. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spokecast, the legendary Tone Love.
Yo, asking for a number from any member of the TUFF Crew band. Remember?
Yo, what's happening, everybody?
What's up, Tone?
I'm good. Appreciate it being on. Y'all having me on tonight. You know, this is cool. What's happening with y'all?
Thank you so much for being here, Tone. We are so happy to have you as part of SPO Wrestling, to have you part of the SPO family, La Spostra Nostra, as I like to call it. It is just amazing. It is amazing to have you as part of what we do here at SPO. And I just want to thank you again. I want to thank you again for being involved with Nana's Candy Clouds, and now also for stepping into a different realm as far as SPO Wrestling goes, as far as being the corner man, the hype man, and the composer of the official theme song for SPO Wrestling Gold Champion, Rick effing Blade. How did that happen, Tone?
It's funny, man. It was real organic, you know. First of all, I'd like to thank y'all again for having me on, and I'm blessed to be a part of it, man. This is a Philly thing, New Jersey thing, and I grew up around here. I love my area, so I'm blessed to be a part of it. Me and my wife, we love what you guys are doing. But yeah, it was just came out. We were spinning the cotton candy, and you know, Mike Connor, who's one of our partners, he came and said, "Tone, I want you to meet somebody." And these are the guys who were doing this wrestling thing, which we were there and we were enjoying it. My wife and I, we were spinning our number one cotton candy in the world, Nana's organic cotton candy. And you came over, and from there, man, it was like, I guess it was meant to be, real organic. You know, I wound up coming back, bringing one of the, I actually was working on a song for a different wrestler to bring him out. I think it was the Patriot. And something happened where he couldn't come through. And then I saw the flyer, it said Vinny Pacifico. And I said, okay, we'll do that. And then I get there. He wasn't able to make it that day. So I'm like, all right, well, look, I'm here now. What's going on? So Robbie, you said, well, beat my boy Rick. And me and Rick, you know, clicked, right? You know, I came and met him. He was cool. We clicked. I said, what you into, Rick? He said, well, you know, I consider myself, I said, you were in the martial arts, something like that. He said, well, yeah, kind of like that. And I said, all right, well, you're going to be the silent assassin. And I'm getting ready to tweak this song real quick and rep it for you. So now me and Rick, we partners on this thing. And I'm going to be the voice for the silent assassin, I guess. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it.
Yeah, man. And that was crazy because I'm in the back, and this is the first show I've ever been at where I stayed in the back and I didn't come out and do anything in front of the crowd. So I'm in the back and I'm just able to watch and and enjoy it as a fan, and also be in the back in case any of the kids need anything. You know, we had a lot going on last Sunday. And
right.
I'm standing there and I knew that you had made a song for Vinny and everything. And then all of a sudden, I don't remember the words, but I hear martial artists coming to pillage a village. And I'm like, he's rapping about Blade, but I just told him he was going to be with Blade like a minute ago. And you're literally going out there just off the top, just made a Rick Blade theme song. And,
right.
You know, I heard, I'm like, no way.
Well, you know, freestyling is part of hip hop, man. I started out before I really was good at writing. I just was off the top with it at the block parties and stuff. And then when I took it more serious, I actually started writing and realized I had to get for it. But originally, man, it was just coming up with raps. I mean, I can go back as far as South Philly High School in the lunchroom, playing drums on the lunch tables, having somebody hit the drums for me while I practice off the
Yo,
top. That's what it was all about.
do you remember your first rap that you wrote down? Like, you remember that?
No. That was many L's ago. So unfortunately I don't, but I can say that I do remember some of the first block parties in South Philly. It was Grandmaster Nell and Robbie B and Grand Tone. These were the guys that I first saw doing it in South Philly at block parties, like around across Washington Avenue. I was from this side of the tracks, and I used to go on the other side of the tracks around Christian Street, and that's where they had a lot of block parties, and that's when I started getting my feet wet.
Yeah, they had that like they used to have parties at that, like I think it was Percy Street. They used to have like the Percy dance. Yeah, I mean, I remember it was like I was young because I'm born in '80. But I remember being in there, being 11 years old, and like Cavaricci's, and I'm like, I think this is like a nightclub that I'm in, and I'm not supposed to be here. Like, there's a dude I'll never forget walking into one of these for the first time with my boy Charlie, and dude is just taking tickets, and he's got like a 45, and I'm like, I don't think this is like a school dance type situation.
No, it probably wasn't. Well, you know, it was this Catholic school, St. Charles on 20th and Christian, and they used to have parties in there and skating, and that's when I started going on that side of the tracks. I started hearing about these parties, and I'm like, yo, man, it's popping over there. So me and my boys would go across the tracks because I lived on Tasker, and I at one point on Porter Street, Knife and Porter, so we would go over there. And St. Charles had the skating rink, and there was a lot of little block parties. Pemberton Street, I forget. Little blocks, but I remember being in some of the parties, man. Have to sometime run after we flirt with the girls on that side. We had to
I'm sure
get a little quick flight and then make our way back across the tracks.
Different time.
Yeah, it was good times though, man. Good times.
It's crazy too, because you lived at, you said 9th and Porter. I lived at like 11th and Shunk, 11th and Porter, Warnock Street. So at separate times, well, probably when I was real young, you and I were still living in the same neighborhood even. And when you came out, when TUFF Crew came out, I really want to get into that, because you came out at such a time. It's an era like Skillz and I, we're still in that era. It's the era where the Audis came out, where the BMW, where people all of a sudden, the European cars and the Polo, and the night I met you, you had Polo velour sweatsuit on, and that. So when did you make the transition from beating on the table and rapping and deciding that you were going to get into this as far as like a job? Did you initially get into it as solo, or did you get with TUFF? Did it go the other way? Did you get with TUFF Crew, and before you guys decided you were going to get into it as a group?
Well, actually, I started honing my own skills in high school, and as I came out, I kept it as a hobby. I started messing around, got my hands on a little beatbox, but I hadn't hooked up with TUFF Crew yet. They were down north. Well, the producer, LA Kid, he was from LA. He moved up here and was staying with his godfather up here, get away from all the gang stuff going on out in LA. Ice Dog and Too Tough were doing block house parties down north. Too Tough was DJing down there, and he ran into Ice Dog, and they linked up. And then my boy LA, he introduced me to them two, because I had met him through me and him had the same godfather. His godfather was my godfather. He was looking out for both of us. And they introduced me to those two dudes. So first I was working on it at the crib, and it wound up that we linked up. And before it was all of us as a crew, it was actually, I was going to be in a different group. They had a group. It was another guy in TUFF Crew. And for some reason, he couldn't continue to do it, but it was his idea. He even came up with the name. And it was his idea to get a group going with them guys. And then he fell back for whatever reason. And me and my crew kind of hadn't quite got gelled yet. So then I wound up linking with them, and we start hanging out. Next thing you know, we put our thing together. I said, I'm just going to rock out with y'all. Let's just become a group. So that's kind of how it came together. But initially, I was going to be with this other one dude, my boy Paul. Shout out to Paul. And me and him was Deuce Divine. We were calling ourselves Deuce Divine. And then Tough Crew didn't even have a name at that time. But by the time I got with him, they told me, he was going, let's just keep the name he came up with. Even though he ain't here, we're going to call ourselves Tough Crew. Okay. And so that's how it came together. But I was working on my skills actually as a solo rapper. Got me a little drum machine. Some dude on my block. I had moved from South Philly uptown. I was getting in a little trouble down South Philly. My mom moved me up like West Oak Lane, Mount Airy. And the guy on that block, he had equipment. He had like a nice drum machine. I remember one I never saw. And I think it was like an 808, 909 or something. And I told him I could rhyme, and he started making some beats for me coming down to my crib. And then once I felt like I was a little better, but that was around the time we linked up together with the rest of the crew and became, which y'all know, to be Tough Crew.
So after the formation of Tough Crew, you start making music. I saw that you had worked with Said G, you had worked with Kool Keith, which a lot of people, Ultramagnetic MCs, a lot of people don't realize Said G, very, very influential. The production he did for Criminal Minded, which a lot of people consider one of the biggest albums, most influential albums of all time. I personally, KRS-One is one of my favorites of all time. So, and also Kool Keith, Skillz. I'm sure you're well aware of Kool Keith and just what a
crazy character.
What an iconic character. So being young, right, being young in the game and working with what is it like? Because we go through it as performers. As wrestlers, we've been in positions where we're working with guys that are already on or are already established as legends, or maybe just were guys that became legends very quick because they became very iconic very fast with their body of work, which that's what I would really look at Ultramagnetic MCs. Like Critical Beatdown, that first album, people can go back and still, and even Pop It Large, one of Kool Keith's first solo songs, they were very iconic very quickly. So being a young artist coming from Philly and working with guys like this that were already, and they're just, I don't know how much older they are than you, but probably just a little bit older enough to have been on right before Tough Crew. So what was that like? What were the dynamics of that like? Being young.
It was crazy. It was crazy. Well, first off, I forgot too, Monty G, my boy. Shout out to Monty G, the Mountain. He from South Philly too. He was supposed to be with another group. Just getting back to that real quick. It was going to be him and another guy, and that guy wasn't able to do it. And we brought Monty on board, and he started beatboxing for us and bringing us out. So shout out to Monty G. Salute, my homie, and the rest of my crew. But we wound up actually doing our first record in '87, and under the influence of my manager. I think he was following the influence of Will Smith, and he had saw Fresh Prince success that he had with Girls in the World Ain't Nothing But Trouble. He was thinking that was the formula, so he was kind of talking to us about, making some comedic rap and funny stuff, because that's what the people like, and keep it clean and everything. So our first body of work, Fan Jam, that stood for Philly and New Jersey All-Star MCs.
Raw Force, was like, that what?
That was with Crown Rulers.
Crown Rulers, yeah.
Yeah, they were from Camden. Some of our homies, we had put them on, and we were working on their album. But in the process, we said, "Yo, man, we're gonna form the Danger Zone posse, the squad," because we were hanging out with them anyway. And as he was working on his album, we just collaborated on that when we decided to introduce them on the back of that first record. But that first record was kind of like, it wasn't us. It was more like our manager said, "Hey, I know what'll work. This is what's working for Will." We were cool with Will and Jazzy Jeff. Shout out to them. And after that album, it had a little success. We might have did, I think 70, 80,000 records sold. And then we just was like, yo, we could do it better. I said, we really need to be able to express ourselves. So we was really telling him, look, let us do what we gonna do. You know, you gotta trust us. Let us do what we gonna do. Because we were looking for better numbers than that. So that's when you got to the Danger Zone album. And prior to recording it, we were looking to get someone who really had different beats. LA Kid had produced that first record, but we was trying to get more of a underground hip hop feel. That's what we all wanted to rap to. And so we started going up New York, and we wound up in the South Bronx where Karis One, Chris Parker, Kenny Parker, his brother, Kool Keith Saji, and them, they lived in the Bronx River Projects. So we met them up there going to try to do shows at these clubs that was popping up there. Red Parrot, I forget the name, Red something. I think it was Red Parrot, but we did some shows up there. They were there, and then we started busting up, telling them they liked us. We said, yo, we from Philly though, but we looking to find some production and some producers. And that's what said was like, well, yo, I'm making tracks. Y'all need to come through the crib and check me out. So we started going over said crib, and he taught us how to work the SP12. He had an SP12, which was a new drum machine that just came out. Prior to those, it wasn't none that was sampling or anything like that. So you had to actually just make the beat. But said he had the SP12, and we started like checking him out. He taught my producer, LA Kid, how to use it. And then he actually started making some beats for us and stuff like that. So we came home, we psyched now, like, yo, we know how to sample and do all this. So we went out and got some records. This one, it seems like a lifetime ago. They had record stores where you could actually go buy break beats. I don't know if any of y'all youngins know about that. I'm sure Skillz the Great know. I know Skillz the Great. No, I know you know, Rob, pulling y'all chain right now. But for the young listeners the whippersnappers that might be listening, there was a place called Record Stores where we used to go and buy break beats, and we would bring them home, and we would play them break beats and play them records and listen for the break part of the record where it was just music. Some of it was even disco records, but we would find the part where it broke down, and we started sampling that and putting our music together. But we was very highly influenced. Shout out to my brother Salute, Kool Keith and Set G, Ultra Max. They, we go back with them like Pop Rocks and Tube Socks, baby. That was the first ones that put us on.
Yeah, and then record Armand's, Funko Mart, Upper Market Street. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds of Upper Darby, sounds of Lehigh, sounds of Market.
Yo, Tone, what made you wanna rap?
What made me wanna rap? You know what? My influences was from listening to Lady B. Lady B was on AM station, WHAT at the time. And she started playing I had been listening prior to that to like R&B, soul music, playing records at my uncle crib. And I started hearing this different music. I guess my influence early on was disco and soul music, R&B, Motown. I remember playing records like that. And then she was playing who was that at the time? Houdini, Tila Rock, It's Yours. I just started hearing this. I guess this had to be 85. Run DMC and them came out too. Yeah. So my first influence was Curtis Blow. These Are the Breaks. Yeah. And then he brought out Running Them. Run DMC, MC Run. He used to be a DJ. They called him DJ Run. He was DJing for Curtis Blow. And I guess he started rapping after that as his brother came through and put them together as a group. But he was first a DJ for Curtis Blow. I went and saw Curtis Blow perform in Philly, and Run was his DJ. He called him his son. And I like Curtis Blow. And then these other rappers came through, Fat Boys, Tila Rock, Houdini, what's the other boy? He passed away. Kango Kid, Roxanne Shante, all of them. So Lady B was literally playing these records, and I was listening. We would start our tape and try to record, this stuff. And then I said, man, let me, I could do that. That's when I was trying before that, but I started doing it looking at it as a profession from hearing those dudes. And that's when I was like, yo, I want to make a record. And that's when we start looking to put it together. My godfather, like I said, he was like, yeah, all right, well, I'm gonna put a group together. I'm gonna help y'all get out there. And that's how it went down. But yeah, what first made me want to rap was the rappers that I was hearing out of New York.
So when
they were a little bit ahead of us. Mm-hmm.
When My Part of Town, when that song hits, and I'm assuming I'm a little too young to remember like when it first hit. It was, I mean, I remember it coming out, but I'm saying as far as like club, I'm not hearing it anywhere but the radio as a young kid because I'm not able to go anywhere yet, you know. But I'm assuming it's Philly first, and then it starts, you know, gets up to Newark, then it gets up to New York, then it gets on New York radio. When that hits and you like, how do you even find out? Because we don't have social media. We got the phone. If you're not home, you don't have an answer machine. You don't get that call. You know, beepers aren't out yet. So, what's it like? How do you find out like that this song becomes what it is? Like, how do you know? Like, when does it happen? How do you find out?
Well, Philly had a. It's so funny because we didn't know that was going to be hit. We just put that album out. It was Danger Zone. And we were getting a lot of feedback that people liked the cover because it was like an animated cover. And we were getting a lot of responses on that. So everybody was checking it like, what's this? I think we might have been one of the first ones with a cartoon character style cover. And I guess people start checking the whole album out. And at the time, I think around the time that summer of 88, it started being a countdown. And I remember people was saying, yo, Tone, I copped your record. People we had told, we said, yo, we put a record out. So all my friends knew. And then we talked to Kool Keith and them. They was like, oh, you know, your joint is catching some traction out here. I'm like, oh, word? Yeah, y'all got to come up, man, do some shows. So that's when we started linking back up with them. I met Karis One and all of them dudes because they were all going to the same spots to perform. But out here in Philly, I heard it on the radio for the first time. Lady B played it. She was playing our other records from the album before that, but she said she like hyped it up. She said, I don't know, I'm feeling this record right here. She played it. I think I was riding around in the car or something with a couple friends or something, and I heard it come on the radio. Bro, it's the craziest feeling in the world when you like hear your song come over the radio and you like,
word.
You know,
I knew it had to be in the car. Yeah, word.
Yeah, I think I was riding around, and I'm like, hold on, wait. That's my joint right there. Like, turn that up. And then she was saying, I'm pretty sure she was DJing. She was like, this joint right here, y'all got to hear this Philly, this Tough crew. Y'all heard them on that last joint, but they came back with some flavor right here, some fire. And it was different from the first album. Like I said, this was our own expression of ourselves. And so it caught fire. And they had a countdown, and we was like on the, you know, I remember being just first, maybe we came in at number 9 on the countdown. And then within like 2 weeks, we were at number 1. And then we was at number 1.
Power 99, the 9 at 9, the top 9 at 9, right.
Yeah, we wound up being number 1 for a long time because by then everybody loved the record. You know, My Part of Town, we was repping Philly. When we start, you know, then we start hearing, and it was funny, we didn't have a record deal at the time. We just had distribution in our own independent label, So Def Records. And that's the reason that Jermaine Dupri had to call his joint So Def, because we already had So Def.
Yeah, word. I was thinking about that.
Yeah, Skillz. So yeah, he had to put an extra So on that joint. Yeah, we was the first So Def. But yeah, riding around, man. I think I was just with my boys or whatever. She threw that joint on, and then start catching traction, and then it was on the countdown number 1. That's how it really ignited. But everybody was feeling the record. We got a lot of local support, and then the people who left Philly and went into the service or college, they took the cassette with them. At that time, it was cassettes,
right? And
they took it with them, and everybody told me, "Yo, I'm out here. We turned people, and next thing you know, we hearing that the record's selling out in the stores. I'm going to those stores we were talking about, Sound and Market, Funko Mart. They like, yo, we can't keep y'all record on the shelves. Y'all should be rich. And I was like, yeah. I said, no, we ain't rich yet, but it's selling like that. And people was calling me from out of town too, saying, yo, we got people put on. We went down to North Carolina, yo, I'm in the service. They ain't even know about y'all yet, but we put them on though. They love it. So You know, that's how it was real organic how we, got bigger. It wasn't with no promotion really of the formal kind, like you would say, a record label putting you out there like that. We was just an independent, small independent. We went up New York, got with this distributor called Warlock, and they put it out. And they made it available, but they didn't spend no money on videos or promotion or nothing. So it was all the people who we did it for, the fans, actually spread us around.
That's beautiful. And to speak to the video, it's very cool to see that finally, after so many years of the song being so iconic, you did indeed recently shoot a video for My Part of Town, which everybody can check out on YouTube, of course. And the video, the night we met, you showed me the video, and the video hadn't even premiered yet, which was so cool, And, we talk about how blessed we are in pro wrestling for the cool things we get to experience. Like, I never in a million years imagined that I would be standing with Tone Love from Tough Crew, and he showed me the premiere of the My Part of Town video on his phone before anybody else gets to see it. Like, that's just like truly amazing.
Yeah, one thing about me that y'all, with us working together, y'all find out I always kept 10 toes down. With me, I hold the fans like you guys, DJs, just fans of music, good music. I hold you at a high esteem like y'all hold us. I always realized that we were nothing but our fans made us. So I never let it go to my head that I was liked as a rapper or like my music. I'm making the music for the fans, the listeners. They respond by buying it or playing it and all of that stuff, or coming to our shows. And for me, it was like a mutual arrangement. So where you see it as, can't believe Tone was there, we always was in the hood. We never really, I didn't move out to California like Will Smith, not take nothing away from him, but he relocated. I stayed in the neighborhood, stayed in the hood. We was the type that we didn't never really see ourselves bigger than our people. So we're a rap group that's from the people for the people. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it. Like, we didn't want all the glitz and the glam. We wanted the bag, of course, but we wanted we was always amongst the people. Like, that's how we started, and that's how we kept it. So I could be riding by, and you might be like, yo, TL. Somebody say TL. I might circle the block if I wasn't too busy and get out, burn a tree down with somebody or something. It was just how we were. It wasn't no tripping or like, yo, I'm bigger than you or better than you right now. That's why you see me at your joint. I'm there with my wife. We do cotton candy. I'm telling it. I love wrestling. So when I was invited by Mike, shout out to Mike, I said, sure, we come through, man, and add some value to the situation. Yeah, that's my daughter right there. Nah. That's who we do it for.
God bless her.
Yes, God bless her. She's with the Lord now. She's in living her best life. But that's what we do. We do the best cotton candy in honor of my daughter, and we help parents with children with special needs throughout the state of Delaware right now. We're about to move into the whole tri-state. But yeah, we just keep it humble, man. What y'all see as you work with me now, and you will see as you get to know me even better. I keep 10 toes down. What you see is what you get, bro. I'm no more important than you guys. I just do something that y'all guys like, just like y'all doing something that I like. I love SPO and what y'all doing.
And I don't want to interrupt you, Tone, but what you do with Run Sanaya Run, and what you do with what you and Gia do with your story, what you do for those parents with special needs and for people that are going through the unthinkable situation that you guys powered through, and it's so inspirational. No, it's way more important. You're way more important than us. You're way more important. You add way more value to SPO wrestling with what you guys do than we do with the wrestling matches, and that's just me being real. That's not me taking away how hard we work, but
well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead.
We only work so hard, man, because we want to support people like you, and we want to make people like you proud that believe in us and feel comfortable having yourself involved with us. So really, and I don't mean to get long-winded or lose myself a little here, but it really is so important what you do, what you guys do.
Thank you, man. It's a labor of love. You know, my wife always says we turned our pain into purpose. Sanaya was almost 12, a month away from her 12th birthday. Just a bright, beautiful, lovely child, but she had multiple disabilities and she passed away. And we felt like it's two things. We wound up in a rabbit hole, or we figure out something to do with our lives to be, important. And we realized in being parents of special needs child, how many needs there are for those parents. There's work that's done for the children, help that's extended to the children a lot of times till they're 18, but they do get some assistance. But how many people thinks about the parents that's taking care of the child and their well-being, what their needs are? I mean, healthy parent of a special needs child is a healthy special needs child. So you got to consider the needs of the parents. And there were a lot of things that we couldn't pick up the phone and call an agency for, like home repair. A lot of autistic kids, they can bang doors and break some stuff in the homes, not of any fault of their own, but the condition happens, that happens through that condition. Kids who are bullied, Down syndrome kids, just because they look different, being bullied, and parents who, they might need rides to the hotel. To the hospital. They might need food. They might need some me time. They might need the car repaired, gas, food. It's so many things. If you're a parent of a regular child, you guys, there's a lot of responsibility just with that. Now you imagine if there's disabilities involved and the costs and the expenses incurred from trying to take care of them right. And it can get very frustrating and overwhelming. So me and my wife, we say, we'll be the stress busters. We'll deliver the wheelchairs. We'll take you to the market. We'll get some food made for you. We get partners to help us with doing these things. We obviously can't do it all by ourselves, but we partner with people like Ace Hardware for repairs, Tractor Supply Company for stuff, and people join us and help us do these things to make their load lighter. If you help the parent, you're indirectly helping the child too. But if you help the child without the parent could be like out there on an island and you don't know how well they're holding up. If the parent ain't holding up, they're not going to give good care to the child. So we realized that from our own experiences, and we stepped in to facilitate those needs. I think we're up to like 12 things we do. Who knows? We're not counting, but I know it's a lot of stuff we did more than what we thought we were going to be able to do in the beginning. But with God's help, shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, we've been able to do a lot of services and provide a lot of services. And we raise money with the cotton candy. So that's how that came into play as our fundraising tool. We made delicious cotton candy and after her name, which she loved, but she couldn't have the dyes, the preservatives, the artificial this and that. So we had to learn how to make it. My wife learned how to make it healthy and organic and about as healthy as cotton candy could be. So that's how we wound up with the best cotton candy in the world. Watch, you're gonna remember I said that, the best cotton candy in the world, not us candy clouds. But we do what we do out of love. It's a labor of love now. And, we now partners. So we're going to be doing it together, bro.
Absolutely. We'll be there this Sunday, in fact, at the Italian Festival in our old stomping grounds in SP in South Philly. We're going to be down here on 9th Street. Yeah. And SPO Wrestling will be right next to Nana's Candy Clouds. So you can come through to 9th Street. The world's largest mozzarella hot chocolate, 2 p.m. Sunday, May 11th. It's Mother's Day. Come through. Come get some cannolis at Rim Cafe to bring your mother. You go see your mother afterwards. That's what I'm going to do. I'm still going to go see my mom and be a good son. But before that, you come and you see us at the convention. It's not just going to be myself and Tone Love. It's also going to be the illustrious Skillz the Great. It's going to be my brother, Johnny Kashmere. We're going to also have the feral face, the former SPO world champion, and it'll be interesting to see him there along with his manager, Skillz the Great, with Tone Love, the new manager of Rick Blade in the house. And, of course, we have a whole lot of Vinny Talata of post-game. He'll be there along with Lovari. A.gihf. We also have the lovely and vivacious Elena Mizernaya, I can't wait to see what she wears personally. I really hope it's nice and warm out for sure. And hey, and to my son, who knows, bro? Maybe you're getting your stepmom Sunday. We'll see. And of course, the guest of honor, and this is no offense to anybody else, the one and only Michael Connor, public relations manager for SPO Wrestling. You're damn right, Von Hayes. Woo is right.
That's right.
Michael Connor. And Von, we hope to see you there.
Yeah, and guess what? Last night on Spokecast, we have a announcement. Pat Dynamite, the new Skywalker champion, will be in the house with the title.
Wait, what is that? We have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Pat Dynamite will be at the Italian Festival.
You didn't want to say the Godfather's birthday.
The Godfather's birthday. I feel weird calling it the Godfather birthday. That's a little... It's like a little like custy, that. You know what I mean? It's like a little Markish, you know, the Godfather. No offense to the guys who run it. Don't break my fucking head because I made fun of the name of the event. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Huh?
I'm the moral compass of the show.
I know. I just lost my moral high ground. It's like, Arthur, you know when you curse, Arthur, you lose your moral high ground. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tone.
No,
actually, like funny enough, yeah, my part of town is like literally one of the first records I owned that had the F word in it. Actually, come to think about it.
Right. When it came about it with a,
that.
I'm gonna keep my moral high ground here.
The tape I got in trouble for, though, believe it or not, was Tone Loked After Dark. That tape had like 40 F-bombs on it.
Wow, and yeah.
I was in my dad's like Chevette, and I put it in, and he was like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Sorry.
It was.
Robbie, I thought you were gonna say 2 Live Crew because they.
No, I got that. No, I knew better. Once I got in trouble, I had all that. That. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, let me ask you: do you got this? You don't got this yet, do you?
Ooh.
Oh wow.
They all got quiet. Ooh.
Yeah, we did.
Randy Tuck Crew. Or what?
I'll have Sunday. I'll have it when you. Okay. Maybe you bring one for me.
I don't know. We'll see what we can do.
I wouldn't bring that anywhere near South Philly, Tone. You leave that.
Just don't bring it. Don't bring it in the heat.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh so wait, guys, I gotta ask Tone Love a question. I've been waiting all week for this because Robbie made a good point. All right, Tone.
What's up, Cass?
All right, so your name is Tone Love, okay?
Yeah.
But Lovari's name is Antonio Lovari.
Wow.
Is it kind of the same name in another language?
Are you the same
I think
person?
it is. I think that's the Italian version of Tone Love.
I think we may have to end Lovari, Tone.
Yeah, something got to give. Well, he almost got to end it. He was hyping it up. The wrestling match there. I said, wait a minute. He was talking a little trash, and I know trash talking come with the thing. My wife sent him a little peace treaty because I was like, hey, wait a minute. Dude, he don't know. He's stepping into the danger zone.
Yo, gimmick infringement in our world.
Send him the cease and desist like you did Jermaine Dupri with So Bad.
Yes.
You're funny. No, I don't do cease and desist no more. I just handle it. Right. I handle it my own way. But no, he cool. Shout out to Lovari. He cool. I met him at the joint. And he was real cool. But when we saw him online talking about, this Tone Love, whatever, I said, oh, okay.
He was like,
about that.
He said you copying him even though you older than him.
Yeah, is that what he said? Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna come get you.
Tell him when I take my wife to Sicily, they're gonna be calling me Antonio Lovari. I'm gonna personally take my wife to Italy this summer so I can just rep his name.
What do you think about, speaking of Italy, let's start the TMZs.
All right, let's do it.
Look at this one. Catholic school teacher in Italy fired after parents found her on OnlyFans.
Oh, what?
How did they find that?
Now, why? Oh, the parents of her kids she teaches. The kid she teaches. Yeah.
But shouldn't the word be fathers? Let's be honest. It wasn't the fathers who found her on OnlyFans.
Yes, probably more likely the fathers.
Yeah, definitely.
And then once the mother saw it, They called the school board immediately.
But see,
They saw
because
it on
it's
the credit
Italy.
card.
Right.
They saw the credit card that monthly subscription. They're like, yo, who you subscribing to? And they don't know it was the third grade teacher all along.
That Johnny though,
Wow.
because it's Italy. It could be that her parents, because the kids in Italy live with their parents till they're like 45, 50 years old. So it could have been her own parents found her on
That would
OnlyFans
be
too,
that'd be crazy.
What's she been doing in the basement all this time?
right?
Right. You
Oh,
said you was
no.
you said you was preparing next week's homework. That don't look like you getting the PSAs together. What's going on?
Yeah, Dog Ate My Homework has a whole new meaning, Tone Love.
Yes, it does.
Man.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's one. So I got, all right. So this is a little test for you guys. Are you ready?
Let's do
All
it.
right. What do these two men have in common in these pictures? Now, we know on the left, that's, of course, Sean Connery.
Okay.
Mhm.
On the right is Thomas Brody Sangster from Game of Thrones, Maze Runner. Okay.
Mhm.
What do these two men have in common in these pictures? Would anyone like to venture a guess?
Mm. Sean Connery and
Guys are never going to believe this. You ready, guys?
is that his dad?
They are the same age in the photos.
No way.
Both
Jesus.
34 years old.
Does that kid on the right have like the Simon Birch disease or whatever?
Not
Like-
at all. It's just shows you the
That I would
difference. It's like
kill, or
one younger-
Benjamin Button. Maybe he's aging in reverse.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
that's-
man.
that's-
Like
I don't
Ron
believe
Anderson.
that.
Same mom, Mitch? No, they don't have the same mom. Come on.
He's
Not that we
he's
know of.
34. He's 34. The kid on the right.
Dude,
Yeah.
I would
Yep.
kill to look that young when I turn 34. When I
Yeah.
turn 34, guys, let's see how I look. I won't look that young. I'll tell you that much.
He can
he
play
he
high
found the
school.
fountain of youth.
They used to
Yeah,
smoke
he
hella
totally
cigarettes
played
back
high
in the
school
day and drink a lot of liquor. So I
A
don't
lot of indoor smoking back in the day.
exactly.
People didn't age very
They
well,
used to
you know.
split you up in a diner, non-smoking and smoking.
Yeah.
Well, they used to
So
smoke in
Rob-
the airplanes, no?
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. Wayne Dyer used to say having a smoking section in a building is like having a peeing section in a swimming pool.
Right.
Makes sense.
Right.
All right, so
Don't
check
make
this
sense.
out, guys. The Oscars will now require voters to see all movies in a category before they vote on who wins.
Wow.
They just
they
let the
didn't
cat out of
require
the bag
that
on their own
before?
shit.
No, they weren't apparently.
That's like the biggest award in entertainment, and they're just letting people haphazardly vote without even watching the movies.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy. So, Tone, me and my brother have a feud going with the Beckham twins, the Beckham's sons, David Beckham's sons.
Okay.
Because they're so like entitled and shit. So,
Yeah, they got
Right.
horrible name. They got horrible first names too. Horrible
Horrible.
first and last names. Like the first
Right.
name doesn't go with the last name. And what are name like Romeo and what is it?
Brooklyn. So
Brooklyn
here,
and
we're gonna do
Romeo.
some-
Yeah.
I'm going to do some Columbo investigating here. Watch this. David Beckham celebrates 50th birthday party in London. Son Brooklyn no shows. All right. All right. Brooklyn's already getting too big for his britches, right?
Mhm.
So I do some digging and I find this. Brooklyn and Nicole Peltz tried to see David before the birthday, but were denied.
They weren't on the
Wow.
list.
Dude, is David the Pope now? Is he like no, they cannot come kiss my ring today. That'll be another day.
Right.
Why
Right.
why are they estranged from each other though? What happened?
No one knows.
Maybe David picked the name. Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Brooklyn's been hot about it
that'd
for
be-
his entire life. He's like, yo, you named me after a borough of a city that I don't even live in.
And it sounds like a
chick.
girl's name.
Yeah, it's a chick's Brooklyn. Like my mom would be like, I don't like that Brooklyn. She causes too much
Yeah.
drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely had a grudge over that.
It's
All
the
right.
name.
All right, Robbie, this one's just for you. Pee Wee's bicycle sells for more than $100,000.
See, this is why they had to wait for him to die, because he clearly said in the movie the bike wasn't for sale.
Dude,
Well,
$100,000.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy.
But yo, when we were kids, when I was a kid, that was the ultimate possession to have.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be worth more. That's a good investment for whoever bought that.
Yeah,
I was getting ready to say,
absolutely.
if you think about it, that's going to go up in value. They got that for a pretty good steal, considering.
Jeez.
Yeah, especially because he just passed 2 years ago. You know?
That's
Damn.
one of the most iconic pieces.
You ever meet Tone? You ever when you were like
the inner tube cost 15, 20 grand? Then?
you ever meet Pee Wee, Tone?
I have not had the pleasure of meeting Pee Wee.
No, well,
but once I saw that he was once I seen that he was a freak boy, I kind of fell back from watching this. I used to like him and shit. Then I found out, when it all comes out in the wash, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I was scrubbing my hands and.
Hey man, OJ's no less of a running back.
Pee Wee's no less of a kid show host. That's right.
No less of a kid show host.
Oh, all right. So we're
reminds me all of those dudes like him. What's the dude that do the other kid show that was on later than that?
Ernest.
No, the one who said the one with the mail that never fails. Blue's
Clues.
Yeah, Blue's Clues dude. He was weirdo too.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve. I had my kid watching that show
in New York. Yeah. Skillz. You lived in New York when you were young, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember Steam Pipe Alley with Mario Cantone?
I do.
Okay, this is look, Johnny's my brother, so I feel like I could say this without sounding like a bigot. It just seemed a little weird to have Mario Cantone. He seemed a little much to be hosting a kids show in 1991 is all.
Right.
No, you're right.
God bless Mario Cantone.
I know what you're saying. So, all right, I got this for you guys. I've been waiting for this. This is a singer. I want to see if you guys can identify who it is, okay? Mm-hmm. So that's Elizabeth Hurley with a singer. Does anyone know who this man is? You all know him. We all know him.
We do?
Yeah.
I can't call it. His hair's in the way.
Looks like Kid Legend a little bit.
A little bit.
Is it Kid Legend?
No, it's Billy Ray Cyrus.
What?
That is Billy Ray.
Heart.
That is Billy Ray Cyrus.
Von Hayes got it. Good job, Von Hayes.
I am mad impressed that he got that. Good job.
Yeah. Dude, he looks nothing like he used to.
But
wow.
Elizabeth Hurley. So he's Miley's dad. I found out today. I didn't know that.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's Hannah Montana.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I can't believe that, man. That's Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yep.
No.
Did you guys see? Did you see this? Donald Trump wants to reopen Alcatraz. Where are all the fraternities in the world going to have their parties now? Dude, I think we should move Alcatraz to the Gulf of America. What do you guys say?
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, it's a barge, right? It's an island. I mean,
let's just move it.
Yeah.
Like, what weird things? Like, what does he worry? What does he concern himself with?
I don't know. He's just doing a whole bunch.
That's the big deal, you guys. That's the big deal.
Well, he maybe looks at it as like a missed opportunity. He's like, that prison, it's just sitting there. It's, there's something.
He's running out of. They're running out of room where he sent all the other people that he got locked up.
Yeah, like
room there.
He's like wants to do what they got going in El Salvador or whatever. Yeah, he's like, you know what? I want to have an American version. It's like how Jimmy's in Baltimore wants to be the American Rivera.
Right.
They sure do.
Yeah.
So here I got.
Good.
Ready to see? All right. I love when grown men act like little kids, like fifth grade.
Oh, here we go.
Check this one out. All right. Travis Kelce unfollows Ryan Reynolds on Instagram amid Taylor Swift's beef with Blake Lively.
Now, number one, neither Taylor Swift nor Blake Lively look like they have eaten any beef or anything other than like an ice cube.
And
like the piss.
How does TMZ know? How does TMZ know that Travis Kelce unfollowed Ryan Reynolds? Is what I want to know. Is there an alert they get?
Well, they probably
Right.
know they're feuding, so they go and they
They go
fish
check.
for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's just weird that grown-ups are concerned with this kind of stuff, like
That's
social
crazy.
media.
I didn't even know this would be news.
This is important stuff today.
I mean, we're talking on
Yeah.
the internet right now, so we're part of the problem. All four of
Yeah,
us, theoretically, we're all part of the problem. But
We are the problem.
Well,
Well, speaking of
We're propagating the issue here. We're making
here
it
we
work.
go. Break
So-
my heart, Johnny. Go ahead.
you do so. Soprano star Joey Pants wants to go to Portugal because of Trump. Like what? Like, first of all, wherever Rosie O'Donnell is, it's a big house. Just go there, right?
Right.
Why does he have to go to Portugal?
Because he's a
Yeah.
hipster and he wants to go. So they speak Portuguese there. So instead of going one of the million places that speak Spanish, he wants to go somewhere even a little more hipster. Or maybe he's just got a girl in there or something. I don't
What
know.
do they think? Like, does Joey and Rosie think that Trump's going to wake up and go, you know what? Yeah, I got to change my ways because we can't have these people not living in our country. Like, who cares?
Well,
It's
I
ju-
tell you what, if he leaves, he better be careful because he might not be allowed back.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
it's just
that's right.
crazy. It's just, to
Exit
me, it's
tax.
just you want attention. That's all. I mean,
Right.
why do you need to announce that you're leaving? And he's a great actor. He was in Memento. It's great. And he's Ralphie from The Sopranos, one of my favorite shows of all time. However, that being said, you feel uncomfortable under the Trump administration, so now you need to flee the country.
To Portugal.
It just, it's seems a little extra.
Yeah.
Like, what do they think is going to happen? What do these celebrities think is going to happen? Now, Rosie, I can almost kind of understand because Trump has specifically called her out and called her, a fat pig and a weirdo and unfunny and a failure and a loser and all that. So if I was her and the president said all that about me, I would say, all right, maybe I need to get out of town.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, if the mayor of Wildwood said that about me, I'd get out of town. You know what I mean? It's a small island. So,
Hey, I thought
know.
about it actually. I thought about it, then I said, wait a minute, I might not be able to get back.
I mean, if Mayor Roots said those things about me, I'd get out of town. So imagine, the president, but it just
Right.
seems a little extra. And also Tone, I'm sure you can remember. I mean, one of the things that hip hop was formed on initially was people being able to talk about things that they maybe disagreed on and didn't look at the exact same way. That was one of the ways that your entire art form came to fruition was through a truce.
You're absolutely
You
right.
know?
It was a truce of in New York. I think in '73 they had gang issues, a lot of gang violence, and some of the leaders from the communities up there. I think it was Africa Bambaataa, some of the first DJs, and then some of the gang leaders. They came together and said, "Hey, man, we're knocking each other off. Let's just figure out a way to battle. Let's call a truce, and we'll take out our frustrations, if you will, in a way where everybody goes home at the end of the day." So they started battling with the Skillz, coming out in the park, having the MC battles, DJ battles, dance battles, and it was, at the end of the day, everybody made it home, like I said, and hip hop was born out of that because they got tired of just knocking each other off, and now we're back. What are they doing now today? That's why I said it's not hip hop that they're doing. This rap game is supporting a murder culture, but the hip hop culture is the opposite of that. And that's what I'm trying to do. As a matter of fact, I want to bring, I call it Tough Love. And Tough stands for Teaching Unity and Fostering Family. So Teaching Unity and Fostering Family Love, that movement to Philly, and introduce hip hop, the culture, to these young people and let them know, that they're not doing hip hop, the trap, the drill, and all of that. The end result of all of that is funerals. Whole lot of funerals, whole lot of obituaries, whole lot of crying and mourning. So bring it back to hip hop. We get back to the parties. We could battle and take it out in the, on the stage or on the mic, however you want. But everybody will have fun with that as opposed to this. So I'm trying to introduce that into the situation, into the mix. Tough Crew, we supposed to be getting an award or something from the city, and I'm gonna segue off of that. As a matter of fact, you guys, I'm glad we're talking about it now because one of the ideas I had is bringing them into the academy, the bullies, because you know how we stand against bullying. We all for anti-bullying, and some of these bullies might make good wrestlers. What do you think?
Oh
We might
yeah.
Idea.
recruit
I
some of them
mean,
young guys and bring them into the Pro Wrestling Star Academy. Y'all want to fight? Here, come on, get in the ring. You can toss each other
Each on the
around,
right.
and at the same time, you're not hurting nobody, and it'll provide for good entertainment. Some of them probably would make good wrestlers.
any of those bullies are specifically hard-headed. You know, you shut the cameras off, I smack them around a little. The mom and dad throw me a couple extra $100 to beat on the kids a little bit, talk some sense into
Exactly,
them,
bro.
straighten them out.
SPO,
Yeah.
we gonna be the official anthem. We body slamming the bullies, and we gonna
Yeah,
stand up for the victims. Special needs kids, they get teased a lot. A lot of these young, you know, the punier kids or whatever you want to call them, they get teased a lot. Yo, they just as valuable as anybody else. So we'll stand up. Tough Crew and SPO is gonna stand up for the underdogs against the bullies, and we'll bring the real good bullies in too. We'll give them a little smacking around and put them in the pro wrestling school.
And refocus their energy towards something good.
Absolutely.
Exactly, Kashmere. You know what I'm saying? So they can make a. I'm saying seriously. I'm joking. I'm saying it a little flippantly, but no, they can wind up with a career out of what they started out doing. You know, as you know, something that was going nobody liked. The same people they were bullying on could now watch them in the ring and they can get their autograph now. Who knows how it would turn out? But I think that's a good way for them to learn how to channel that aggression and energy into something positive. You guys got the perfect school for them.
Yeah. And I just want to mention real quick that people can still download the Radiant TV app and watch the Silver Anniversary in its entirety to hear Tone Love perform his rap for Rick Blade to the Ring. What a night. So there's also other performances on there by Big Rel, by A.gihf, and by Lovari. So I just wanted to say that real quick. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah, I'm going there and check that out, Johnny, for sure. I wanted to see it. I didn't even get to look back on it. I just kind of jumped in, got in where I fit in, and heard it was cool. So I'm glad I could add a little.
I mean,
flavor to it.
That's every rapper ever. He showed up like 5 minutes before the performance, did the performance, dipped out. That's what I've tried to do that my entire career as a wrestler. And now when the guys do it to me, now that I'm booking, I have a heart attack in the back.
Yep, I'm working on a nice theme song for you guys. I'm gonna hook you up with a nice theme song. I love what you stand for. Me and my wife are we're stoked to be a part of it, and we're gonna try to build it up. I'm gonna introduce my audience to what you guys got going on. Some of the young people that I'm talking to, because I do a lot of reaching out to the young kids with my ministry too. I also do gospel rap now too. I call it gift rap, and I get to go around. I'm going to be in Times Square on May 31st and ministering up there. But I'm going to bring some of these young people out and turn them on to what we're doing.
You call it gift rap.
That's awesome.
Yeah, gift rap. Yeah, it's a message in the. It's a message in the rap. I think the music should be. We got to get back to where the music is beneficial to the listener. You guys know, Skill probably know. He's a DJ. You went and found music. The records that we said was our favorite record was the ones that the record did something for us. It spoke to us. You know, it touched our hearts or it resonated some kind of way. You know, and now the same thing is happening, but the messages are bad. So it's no different except you may kill music. You're going to wind up dying. Let's listen to some of their favorite rappers who I do respect as talent, but I think they were on the wrong type time. Ready to Die, Biggie Smalls. Well, sure enough, he died a lot earlier than he thought he was. You know, he didn't even make it to 30 because of Ready to Die. What was Pac? Me Against the World. What does that promote? Just not having no boys or no partners or no friends, just me against everybody else. He wound up dying. So, you know, you become what you behold, and words are very powerful. That's why I take in consideration what I say. If y'all look back on my resume, I don't rap a lot of stuff about killing or murder, none of that, because I don't really want that for any of my people. So you got to be careful. And I'm sending this public service announcement out to all y'all rappers or wannabe rappers. You know, make sure what you're saying is beneficial to the listener. Otherwise, you're adding fuel to the fire that's already burning out of control in our communities, in our cities, and we knocking each other down before we get 30. Ain't gonna be nobody left to listen to no records if we are gonna die. You know, we got to bring it back to where we can party and dance. I've been wanting to make another My Part of Town, but I can't because every time I sit down and write a dance song, and then I think about it, I say, yo, we can't even be in the same room together. So we ain't gonna be able to dance if we can't coexist. So if we want to, you know, make that kind of music and bring it back to the party, then we got to breathe life on these microphones and breathe life into this music that we making. So Skillz, I'm about to give you some positive hip hop, some gift rap, bro, and you'll hear the songs coming out of Tone Love and my artist, Real Rap Records. That's my label. I got distribution with Empire, and I'm gonna bring out some artists that's gonna be transitioning, transforming the music, bringing it back to that feel good music, like my part of town.
Fire.
And we're definitely not to get too into it, but we are definitely in the early stages of trying to set up something very special. The same way SPO Wrestling has been a love letter to the Philadelphia independent wrestling scene, SPO Entertainment, one of our love letters we want to write is to Philly hip hop. So, Tone, you know, we talked a little bit on the phone the other day, about trying to get something rolling soon. And I think one thing that TUFF Crew really helped start was a legacy for a certain sound that came out of Philly as far as hip hop went. The same way that Philly International Records, you know, in the 70s and McFadden and Whitehead, and there was a certain sound that came out of Philly as far as soul music that was different than like Detroit and other cities and LA soul and stuff like that. You know, I think that TUFF Crew really were the forefathers of some groups that maybe weren't already a little conscious going that route and going a little harder and going a little more socially conscious, and also inspiring groups such as you know, Bahamadia and inspiring her, inspiring Fat Cat Click. As far as, you know, groups that had a harder sound, Ram Squad, you know, R.I.P. Tommy Hill, Ram Squad, and Man They Call Lux, 3 Times Dope, you know, and these are all Larry Lair, you know, Cool C, Steady B, obviously Cool being Steady B. You know, they won't be performing, but
you ever met them before? You ever met Cool C, Toma?
Oh yeah. We all started out together. So when we started, it was Will, Fresh, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. It was 3 Times Dope. We were a lot of times on the same lineup. TUFF Crew. It was even some girls. Malika Love. Lux came after. I'm trying to think who hit the records. Oh, Schoolie D. Shout out to Schoolie. He just got put in the Philly Walk of Fame.
That's one of the first gangster rappers, if people don't know.
The first, like the first PSK, like the first gangster rap song, you know.
Right. Yeah, that's his legacy.
Biggie remade it in Life After Death.
Yep.
Yep. And so we were right behind actually we were doing it in, I say, 85, and the original, I don't know if you guys know, but even the original rap MC Shan and Roxanne Shante, they came actually out of Philly. They were from New York, but Philly put them on. So it cracks me up sometime when I hear how New York try to ignore the fact that Philly was right there, but they came to Philly to get on. It was a label called Pop Art. A guy by the name of Lawrence Goodman, and he started a independent pop art, and he put Roxanne Shante on, MC Shan, and they were some of the first rappers that I met out here. Big Daddy Kane, but
she was so young though too. Roxanne.
Oh yeah,
man, she was like 15 over there, right?
Yeah, Shante was. Yeah, she was definitely in her teens, 15, 16 when she got on. But they came to Philly because none of those labels in New York was signing any rap, so they got on out here first. And she talks about it though on her Rock the Bell show. Shout out to Shante. But we were amongst the first to get on the radio out here in Philly. I like to think that we opened up radio, us and Will, radio for Philly rappers to get on, and the rest is history. 5 million records later, we still do it, and it's because of you guys that keep us, our memory alive. That's why I want to really bring hip hop back, man, because if we don't, the last ones who were doing hip hop, if we don't, hip hop is dead. We the OGs of the rap game, and well, not the rap game, but of hip hop. The rap game was what I think the game that they're playing with the lives of these young people, the powers that be. But we're the original OGs of hip hop, and I want to pass that baton on to these young boys because it's more than just rap. It's break dancing. It's the pillars of hip hop: break beat, break dancing, rapping, graffiti art, DJing, beatbox. I'll throw that in there too. But it was an art form, and it became a culture. And anything that's relevant in culture is worth keeping going. Jazz from the original jazz artists is still going on. Genres is still got rock is still going on. You got 70-year-old rockers still doing shows and stuff. So, I'm in my 50s right now, but I can still tear it down on stage. So we keeping it going for the young people, and I want to pass it on to some young people, but I want them to say things. It ain't got to be message all the time, but it has to be feel good music. It should feel good. You should either want to dance or you're learning something, or it should invoke some kind of emotional benefit. If
Well,
not, what are we doing?
the tone of the music is kind of very sad too. Like now with the drill music and everything, like since
Yeah.
moving, like Tone, you're at the beach. I'm at the beach. The funny thing about it is, over the last few years, since moving out here to Wildwood, now when I'm driving around, like Johnny, now I listen to Sugar Free and like Parliament. I listen to all this West Coast music now because I'm living at the beach and it's a vibe. And even though the West Coast rap music is talking about killing and Sugar Free's talking about slapping the shit out of women and stuff like that, but the vibe of it felt good at least. Now, the vibe of the music and the melody, like even for the wrestling fans, even Travis Scott, who isn't really a drill rapper, but his producers are more that drill style production. Listen to the theme song for Monday Night Raw and WrestleMania. It has that hypnotic, that pop. It's that Papa Perk music,
Right.
and that's who it's marketed towards. That sip syrup music, and
It is
it's
trancy.
it's trancy, right? And it's destructive. It really is, and that's not me just speaking as a Christian. That's me speaking as a hip hop fan that knows that a lot of these record labels also are the same corporations that own these privatized prisons. So if a corporation owns a privatized prison that they make money based on the amount of prisoners, well then there's definitely incentive to have their record label make music that gets people to commit crimes.
That's
So
exactly.
it's really
Now you're
very
tapping
destructive.
Now you tapping into it, brother. It's actually was I'm gonna give y'all a little unfun fact. I'll call it an unfun fact. A little bit of history. In 1991, after the influx of some conscious rappers, KRS-One, Queen Latifah, we were
X
we were rapping
Clan.
about X Clan. Yeah, yep, exactly. Rapping about what is it, boy? YZ. I remember Poor Righteous Teachers. Um, they were hearing the collective uh, message that was coming from different voices, but the same message that, we need to come together, empower our people and stuff like that. And when they got wind of that, in fear of a movement such as the one I'm talking about, possibly even a movement where it could challenge the powers that be, they had a meeting, the label execs and a few artists at the time, recording artists were invited, but I heard that it was about that they weren't going to promote that type of music. Instead, they were giving out record deals to people that were going to say things more culturally edgy, they called it. But what it really was, hey, I want to pay you. Can I pay you to call your own people the N word? I can't say it in public, but I'll pay you to say it. I'll pay you to call your girls, the B word, and I'll pay you to say that. And some people did that for the bag. They sold out and they did it, and they exalted them. They put all the chains around their necks and gave them the money. and they told him, now go run with this. I made you rich. Go ahead and continue to propagate this. And then they put people in positions at the label to make sure that they kept pushing that agenda and pushing that image, even made them uh, polish their image up to be that person. Hence NWA and them. They weren't living that lifestyle. I was out in Cali at that time promoting our music, and they were having barbecues and shit at their cribs in the yard. But they were talking about like they were running around gangbanging, and Dr. Dre and them were kind of chilling. But they were lifted up to be those guys to start pushing it like they were going to be rebels, and they became part of that whole move. But I remember him even being interviewed. They had Yo MTV Raps, and Fat By Freddy asked him. Matter of fact, while he's interviewing him, they had a barbecue, and he was like, "No, I really ain't doing all that like that. But this is what's going. We was just holding the mirror up to what's going on around us. Well, no, y'all act like y'all was actually literally doing it. So now there's going to be a whole bunch of young people who are going to try to emulate what y'all are doing. Hence, we got trap and drill now. You fast forward to now, and they're all stemmed from that original inception of violent, rap. And so that was promoted to our community, and now our community is in, shambles as a result of the music they've been listening to. You become what you behold. And when that's through your ear gate or your eye gate, it's only a matter of time if you keep listening to something or watching something. It happened to me, a young teenager. I first got my first Playboy book magazine. Next thing you know, I had a whole collection of them. So, it's not hard to.
I feel like that happened in 93, 94 when it went full blown death rap. And that
You're
was
exactly
kind of
right.
like the era. That was kind of like the era where I was raised into that death rap. I kind of didn't want to hear that happy music anymore. I wanted just that dark music. I wanted the beats to be dark. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, no, that was my era.
Well, you became what you behold. That's all you was given opportunity. You didn't have any options. They started promoting heavy, that kind of music. So you said 93, 94 Skillz. It was a few years before that it was instituted. And by that time, when you got into it, it was full fledged. And it took the lives of our rap heroes. I mean, these young talents that was otherwise would be grandpops now, like my age and all of that, living off their, their fame or their riches or whatever they earned there in the ground. And that was the intention. They said we gotta, just break them up, divide and conquer. And so I'm exposing that in my new music. Y'all hear not on this last Tough Crew album. I did that with Tough Crew for the fans who have been waiting for years for us to do another record because we broke up. It was very similar to MWA Movie. I was like Cube when he left NWA. The same thing happened with us. I realized we were getting burned out of the publishing, and I rolled, and that's why Tough Crew broke up. But the deal. Here's a fun fact: the deal that Hammer got was our record deal. So MC Hammer signed with Capitol, but they were after Tough Crew. They actually came to New York from Cali to sign us, and that deal fell through because of my manager. He didn't even really have a number to say when they asked him what kind of money you want for your group, and they wound up signing Hammer. So, but that would have been Tough Crew's deal. But I don't regret it in looking back because I might have got pulled in all kind of shit as a young dude with that kind of money. They gave Hammer 3 or 4 million, I think. So they would have gave us whatever we wanted. The guy was telling me, and who knows what I would have did without God in my life with that kind of money. So in retrospect, I'm not crying over that spilt milk. That might have saved my life. That my manager, blew that deal. But I just thought I'd share that with you guys. But yeah, it was a plot early on to use our culture, hip hop, which we created, which was our medium to speak on things we wanted to speak on, and they perverted it. They took it, they raped it, made money off it. Right now, it's the biggest marketing tool for any company in the world. Just just the rap part, but it's so much more to the hip hop culture that I want to share with these young people. And if they embrace it, I'm sure it'll save their lives. They'll live a lot longer if they can get with hip hop and get off the murder culture.
Well said, Tone. What you stand for and what you're hoping to accomplish with Tough Love and everything that you do, and Miss Gia does and everything. It really, it's really making a mark, and it's really everywhere you guys go, you're leaving it better than it was before you got there. And I know that, yeah, and having you part of SPO, I can tell you now that you're part of SPO, if for some reason you weren't anymore, it wouldn't be the same without you, because you're truly one of the elements we were missing here as a team, as a SPO family. You're truly an OG, not just in the hip hop game, but in Philly in general, and knowing that, and it's a weird culture out here in the entertainment business in Philadelphia. Let's face it. Let's talk real for a minute. It's very exploitive in Philly. You want to talk about those meetings they had in LA back in '91, as far as being the combat sport athlete out here in Philadelphia, me and Johnny, we feel like sometimes there might have been meetings like that about the wrestlers and the boxers and the MMA fighters and how to get over on us and how to make us all be out to chase the same dollar bill and cut each other's throats. And, telling people where they...
We're not going to let them do it, bro. We got to keep a tight circle. We got to stick to our guns, what we built it on, keep the integrity, the loyalty. So I got some T-shirts coming out called Solid, and it stands for Stand On, Loyalty, Integrity, and Discipline.
Nice.
And so if we stay rock solid and we stand on our morals, like y'all said, keep that moral high ground, and don't let those powers that be with money infiltrate what we're doing. We'll get the money after we get it up. We're going to keep building it up together, me and my wife. We'll do whatever we can. We have some administrative skills, business development skills, and things like that we've been sharing with you and Johnny, but we're in it with you guys. And we also got high discernment, because I got robbed out of millions. And so I had to learn through God blessing me how to see the snakes in my grass. So I keep the grass cut low, and I look people in their eyes. I'm going to tell you guys, whatever business you're doing, I don't even care if it ain't business. Always communicate by looking in somebody's eyes, because the eyes are the window to the soul, and it always lets you know whether you're dealing with a wolf in sheep's clothing or not. And we're good dudes, so you can look at us like being sheep who are trying to do good, and then you got wolves all around us who are about the money. So they might see this thing taking off and growing and come at us with the bag. But I'll tell you what, if we stick close to God and we just stay integrity with each other and stay trustworthy with each other and loyal to each other, it's going to be a success without those snakes and wolves, bro. I can see this thing growing already. That's why me and my wife are blessed and happy to be a part of it, because we're also going to be like watchers for you guys too. I'm very good at seeing, some flim flam coming from the left.
Woo. That's exciting to hear, because we got flim flam coming from all over in the rest of the
I know you do, Johnny. I know. See, you wonder why I'm saying this, right? And this wasn't even really part of the program, but it's like God's telling me like what we got to watch out for. And me and my wife was just sitting in, and I said, these brothers are good dudes, God-fearing men. They're doing something good. They're providing family fun and entertainment, and that's what we're all about. We love that. That's what I want to use my label for. So you gotta know that in a world, if we're light in a dark place, that the dark is all around us. But the dark can't consume the light, bros. The dark can't consume it. You know why? You could take a little match in a say a 300 square foot room, and it's completely pitch black, and you light a little match, and that match is 2 inches long. But with that match, you can see your hand, you can see yourself, you can see something, you can see your way out of that dark with that little bit of light. Now imagine us like candles. It's 4 right here, 4 of us right here, 4 lights. The dark has no chance. It's all around us, but it won't consume as long as we stay in the light. The minute that we start getting shifty, if we get shifty, then the ground gets shifty. But if the foundation y'all started, you keep the cracks out of the foundation, then you can build. You can build up and build up and build up, and it'll be a big thing. And we'll know who we can trust. We'll know who we can't. So I just want to let y'all know Tough Crew got y'all back. Not to mention I got a ton of goons just in case it get real hairy. But if it don't, we just gotta watch out for each other. But we got a whole SPO full of goons. Man. They don't want no smoke.
That's it. Yo, Tone, You just
What?
proved to the whole world why you are our champion's friggin' mouthpiece, bro. That was sick what you just did.
Let's
just broke it
go. Let's
down.
go. Let's go, Rick Blade.
Hell yeah. He killed it last night, by the way. Dude, Blade is
did?
such a genuine. He talked great about you. He said how excited he is to have you with him and everything.
Dude, we just meshed right away when I got off the ring and I came. It's so funny, Lo. Let me just tell y'all this real quick. So I'm coming over to get a picture with him, and it was right at the time when the dude was in the ring talking shit to him. So I was going to say, yo, let me get a picture with you and my wife and stuff, and the cotton candy. And it was right at the time when the guy was challenging him. And so I'm looking and I'm going, all right, I got to get into character here. I done stepped right here. So I'm like, Rick, I said, don't let him talk to you like that. This, that, the other. I just started saying, you going to listen to that? And he said, Tone, I'm great. Drop my belt. Get my belt, and I'm going to chase him out the ring. So now I'm in the role. I run up there. I got his belt over my shoulder. He's in the ring, and I'm talking shit like, yo, what you want? Yo, what? Now get out of here. Where you come from? And I went in there. I think I went in the ring because when he won, I saw from over there. I was helping my wife. I ran from over there, got in the ring, helped him up with the ref. And I said, after, when I went back over there with her, I said, babe, I think I'm in this shit now. Like, I don't know how that just happened. It was so organic. Like, really, I just went over to get his picture. Next thing you know, I'm talking for him. So he's gonna be Rick Blade, the silent assassin, and I'm gonna swell him up and talk shit for him.
Now, you ever picture yourself getting in a ring, Tone? I mean, we do have the Pro Wrestling Star Academy now.
Yeah, I might have to learn a few things to get a few tips, bro. I've been into martial arts all my life, so Wing Chun and a little bit of martial arts, but myself. But yeah, I might have to get in and hit somebody with a chair or something.
So what, you were in martial arts because we have that the academy's coming again to do another demonstration next event. Maybe
He didn't see them. He got here 5 minutes before he walked out to the ring. He didn't see any of the stuff we had at the beginning.
I sure did. I didn't. No, I didn't.
Rerun.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Skillz, I got some wax for you, Skillz. Would you use those? You little controllers, or you still use 12s?
Yo, I don't DJ, Tone.
Oh, bro, I thought you was a DJ.
Nah, not a DJ.
Oh wow.
I appreciate
Manager
you,
of
though, but
Champions.
definitely, yeah. I'm the manager of champions, man. Manager of legends.
And he runs his own,
okay.
tell him about Win too. He runs his own wrestling federation in New York City.
Is that right?
Yeah, the promotion in New York. Yep.
Oh, that's what's up, bro. I don't know why I assumed you was a DJ. Your name sounded like
It's all
a DJ.
good.
Skillz the Great.
Yo,
Yeah,
it's mad
well.
funny because for some reason Johnny sees thinks a DJ too.
Right.
Yeah, Skillz is a lawyer. Von Hayes called it. Skillz is a lawyer.
He's a fly lawyer, if you will.
The fly lawyer.
Yeah.
That's
So-
what's up. Well, pleasure to meet you, bro, officially.
Oh, right.
So
Same.
Tone,
Yes,
real
sir.
quick, bro. Tone, you got to tell us about your song.
All right, yeah. So y'all heard, I did Bring It Home for Jerome back when we had Reggie White and Randall Cunningham, and that caused some traction in the city. They were playing it on the radio, and we almost won that year. And I had met Jerome in the clubs because he had came from Florida, and our record was #1 in Florida at the time. It was a top 5 at 9, and it was #1 over 2 Live Crew, Luke Skywalker, and who else? Miami Sound Machine, Gloria Estefan. And we were surprised. So we were a big thing in Florida, and he came up here, and I met him in the club downtown, and he loved my part of town, so we got cool. And then when he passed away, that's why I did the song, Bring It Home for Jerome. But this one here, I had been holding back because they kind of used to wear me out emotionally, especially when I have a song. They wear me out anyway emotionally with the games. You know how the Eagles are, man, with the close calls and the nail biters and all that shit. So I said, I don't know if I could do another song again. But when they won the other in 17, I wished I had. And then when they was doing real good this year, when they got near, once I seen they were going to playoffs, I made the song. But I said, I'm just going to sit on it and see. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot because it's going to kill me if I put it out and they don't win. So after they won, I said, babe, I'm gonna bring this record out a little bit. You know, my man Gilly, shout out to Gilly. He was, you know, hyping it up for him and blowing the whistle. But I said, that's cool. He blew the whistle and I'm gonna run the play.
Fire.
So I'm
Shout
about
out
to
to
run the
Philly.
play after Gilly blew the whistle. And I did the Bird Gang, you know, when they were winning, pretty close to getting to the second round of the playoffs. And they won it. So this song, I hope you guys like it. I'm probably gonna debut it down there. Why not? Be in South Philly, my part of town, and might as well drop that joint for them. And
Nice.
hopefully everybody will love it. But yeah, that was
Breaking
inspired
news.
from our birds. Go birds!
Well, that's a scoop. We didn't know that. You're going to debut the song this Sunday in the
I-
Italian market.
Yeah, why not? You know, I'm gonna be around my boys. I'm gonna be around SPO
Hell
and
yeah.
in South Philly where I grew up. That's where I started at. So I think it would be a nice touch. What do you think?
Perfect place.
Yeah,
I think that's a
perfect.
perfect place. Yep.
Perfect.
Why
Can't
not?
wait.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Go.
Yeah, why not?
Hell yeah. This is going to be
Yeah.
great, man. Sunday, 2:00, everyone. 2:00 is when it starts. So
Yeah, come on out. Come on out. Even bring your moms. If you're with your mom, stop through and check us out.
Sure.
yep.
And if not, come through, pick up some stuff from mom. There's going to be a lot of great vendors. You could pick up some cotton candy from mom, or you could pick them up for, you know, your kids or for your nieces and nephews or whoever likes. Everybody likes cotton candy.
Word, I'm gonna need to try
Hey,
it
they
out.
haven't even had this is the best cotton candy you never had. 40
Word,
flavors of
I'm
organic cotton
try
candy. Bro,
I
we even
love
make
candy.
adult flavored cotton candy. There's no alcohol in it, but we got champagne with strawberries. We got what we got, honey?
That sounds great.
Hennessy. We make Hennessy flavored cotton candy. Sangria.
Yeah.
We make
All right.
wine flavored cotton
Definitely
candy.
gonna
Yeah,
try
white
that out.
wine, red wine. But yeah, we got about 8 adult flavors. We are close to 40, if not 40 flavors of
Wow.
watermelon, mango, banana split, pineapple. So it's a whole different ball game, bro, than what you tasted. That pink and blue ain't got nothing on what we doing over here.
Do you
Robbie,
sell
what
it
do you think?
online?
We do. Yeah, you can go to Nana's Candy Clouds. We ship it out. We done sent it to California. It's been, or you can call and place an order. I'll be bringing some through. We're gonna be spinning live, aren't we, honey? That day? Yeah, we're gonna spin for the Godfather, and
You
we'll
would
have
do
some
something like
containers.
like
Nana's Candy Clouds. NANAS Candy KLOUDZ.com. That's NANAS Candy KLOUDZ.com, and we ship it right out to you. No preservatives, no artificial, nothing. It's just delicious. And I gotta put a disclaimer out there. My wife said we're not responsible for any addictions.
There you go.
that's what I
So
have in my.
if you get a
I,
cotton
I
candy
seen the
cloud
line
addiction,
at the show though, right? I'm like, what is this line? I never seen a line like that at a show.
Right.
And then I go look like
bro,
organic
that's
and candy. I'm like, oh my god, amazing.
yeah. You know that wasn't for the regular pink and blue Skills. That's this thing right here we got going. This thing right here. This thing right here
It's a little taste of heaven.
is a little taste of heaven over here.
And,
Capiche?
Over
and
here.
yeah, you're supporting a mom and pop. You're supporting a mom and pop who are supporting a lot of other mom and pops out there in need that need help, and you're also enjoying a delicious treat. That's the thing. The candy's good. People that know me know that, like, even though I'm a dude that's in shape and stuff, my weakness is candy. I house candy. I go to disgusting Dollar General with the meth heads every day because they got a great selection. No, they got a great selection of candy in there. And while the chicks are in there, the girls that weigh like 90 pounds are in there robbing the place and stuff. I'm up there buying candy. But if they had Nana's Candy Clouds in that Dollar General, then I would go around all those filthy scumbag meth heads with a big smile on my face every day. If
Well,
they
we're
had
working on getting it in.
there.
We're working on getting it in supermarkets. We just recently heard that Albertsons is one of the main distributors of snacks for stores. Might be picking us up. They're definitely going to be checking us out, and then more than likely they're going to have it in the store. So we might be in ShopRites and Acme soon. But
Beautiful.
we're just grateful to God that our daughter, you know, her legacy's living on. Although she's not with us here, she's on the front of our label, and she's more famous than she was when she's here for sure. We got it all around. We're actually the celebrity snacks now. Hey baby, that's my Sanaya right there, and she's the celebrity snack now. We had 30 actors from Hollywood come to a celebrity convention in Atlantic City. And we went up there, so we were vending in there. And we were right in the middle of all of them. You know, they came through to sign autographs for their fans and stuff like that. The Squid Game actors and Taryn Manning from Hustle and Flow, Danny Bottaducci. It was
that was his new
yeah, Danny Bottaducci said that's his new addiction now. But they were in the middle. We were sitting in the middle of all of them, so you couldn't go past without passing us. So everybody was trying it, and then at the end they were like, "Yo, we love this cotton candy. You guys are the hit of the whole convention here." Like, and we were just there to expose our cotton candy to them, and we wound up being a hit. So they embraced it. A lot of celebrities endorsed us, and they went home and they order and stuff. So we're friends with a couple of them. Matter of fact, Taryn Manning from the white girl from Hustle and Flow is like our sister now. So we got cool with her from there. And yeah, shout out to Rob Swartz. He had that at ACX1 Studios in Atlantic City. It's a entertainment complex now. You guys we might be able to do the wrestling there too. Bring it to Atlantic City, and that's in the his spot. They got plenty of room there for it, bro. So we'll talk about that. He got a real nice spot. It used to be the Ocean One Mall.
Yeah.
And now it's not a mall. It's an entertainment complex called ACX1. He has a lot of stuff in there. After parties from the Atlantic City shows at the Boardwalk Hall.
Feel free to invite Tara Manning to the next SPO event. Okay?
All right.
You feel free to invite her.
All right. When she comes out here.
Yeah, you let her know.
Down here.
My son's still out there. My son's still out there looking for a stepmom, so you know. I'm just trying to be a good dad is all. I'm just trying to find my son a stepmom. He's been looking for.
Hey, Robbie, she's single too, Robbie.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
she's working on a movie. She's working on a movie right now, but when she wraps it up, I think she's gonna come out here for a little while to wind down, and I'm gonna try to hook you up.
I'll help her wind down.
And we're canceled. Thank you.
Wait a minute, we're back on the air. Von Hayes wants to know, what do you think of rap snacks? Those are the chips with like Lil Bow Wow and Lil Romeo on them, and
I think that's cool, man. That's branding, and that's a great thing. I'm trying to get Tough Crew on one of them. I don't know, they sleeping on us, man. You know, we the underdogs. Go ahead.
I sent my brother Johnny. I sent him a video today talking about Master P and his formula, how he was putting out content every 2 weeks, and he wouldn't even master his albums. He would just say, you know, as long as we have one weed smoking song on there, one Dead Homie song on there, and one Party Club song on there, we're fine. And he just had a formula for putting out that content. Because the Rap Snacks, that was Lil Romeo, that was, you know, Master P's intellectual properties. The No Limit guys got signed on with that and everything. It's just like Kiss, which Gene Simmons of Kiss did. He marketed everything. There was Kiss condoms, Kiss lighters, Kiss anything you could put the Kiss logo on. It's out there.
Yep, it's the American way, bro. So he capitalized off of, you know, the rap music. I'm glad it was, you know, a rapper that actually benefited from it, because corporations do it all the time. But you know, he was smart. He monetized his own intellectual property. That's what I'm doing now too. Although, you know, with my music, I think I told you, Robbie, I want to have some hard copies for this to sell, not just streaming. I want people to be able to get it, but I got to be able to, you know, eat from the stuff that I'm making, this new music. So I got, you know, my record on vinyl, and I got little copies that I could play like a USB. It'll play through any USB, and it's like the size of a business card, fit right in your wallet. But it pops out a USB thing, something that'll play in your laptop, your TV, your you know, anywhere you got USB at. And it also holds MP4 and MP3 up to 1 terabyte. So I can put my documentary on there, Tough Crew show footage on there, videos on there, and records. So I'm gonna talk to you about how we could do that even for our wrestlers and stuff, and people could have, you know, the whole SPO experience can be on something like that they take home. And then we send them backstage for the exclusive content, and they can download it on there. And then, you know, for a nominal fee, send us something, and we can look out for our wrestlers that way, with them building up their own fan base once we build up their image and character. So we're going to We're gonna put our heads together and work all that out. So they're gonna be larger than life figures. We talking action figures. We talking. Y'all better get on top of SPO if y'all don't know, man. It's exciting. It's
And this
great.
is
I love it.
And what we're doing, this is the island of SPO. This is our own thing. We are not people, we're not part of independent wrestling. We're not part of the independent wrestling politics or this and that. Like, again, I know I say this a lot and it's redundant. But I wasn't on the last show, and the reason is because I'm on already. Johnny and I are on already. Skillz and I are on already. But Johnny and I specifically, we have had incredible careers. Johnny wrestled the Rock and Roll Express 2 nights ago.
Wow.
We don't need to be in the main event of our own shows. We don't even need to be on our own shows. This is about putting other people on. I had a career that I did not deserve to have due to my level of talent and my bad attitude, but somehow I got to have it. So now, guys like Keith Fitness, for example, Kid Legend, we want to have him to have an opportunity to show his family and his son that he's out here living his dream. We want the students of the wrestling school to come to us. We want kids that grew up maybe like me in South Philly and like our friends and people that we know that aren't here. There is so much money to be made, not just in wrestling, but through social media, through music, through streaming, that you don't have to be on the street. You don't have to get locked up. You can make money from your phone. And we're able to use some of these skills that we've got in the world of wrestling and what you have through hip-hop, Tone, to give opportunities to people. So that's what SPO is about. That's why we were trying to grow this, because the bigger this grows, the more opportunities we could provide for people. This is not about 15 minutes of fame for us, because we already had way more than that. This ain't about a bucket list. My bucket is overflowing. Mm-hmm. If I never wrestle again because of my situation where I may need a knee replacement, I'm good. I'm good. What fills my heart is giving opportunities to people. What fills my heart is being able to link up with somebody that I look up to genuinely, like Tone Love, and feel that with SPO, we have something of value to offer somebody who is on a level of a legend in hip-hop, like you, Tone.
That part, bro. Word up. He's well said. I think that's what I was trying to say. This is an outlet for others coming up under you to be able to have an opportunity to do something positive. I know from all the wrestling that we've watched over the years, and a lot of kids that are still into the big wrestling that aspire to do that. I used to watch wrestling, like I'm sure you guys did, and say, man, that would be cool to do. You know what I mean? Way back in, I remember when it first started with Andre the Giant and all of those guys and Ric Flair. And I was just really into it. And I knew it was theatrical, but they were really wrestling. I mean, still got to do it. And I just thought that was the awesomest thing. And look what, Hulk Hogan and all those characters did for these young people. Probably kept them out of trouble. I wonder how many of them grew up and became wrestlers.
If you keep speaking up for Hulk Hogan, Tone, if you keep speaking up for Hulk Hogan, he's going to use that clip for the rest of his life. keep talking good about Hulk Hogan, so he can use that clip. No, you see, brother. Nah, Tone Love said I'm good. Tone Love said I'm one of the good ones.
Well, I'm also big up Johnny Kashmere and Deathmatch 215. You know what I mean? Robbie Illuminati. You guys are rap pioneers for the ones that are coming up under you. And so what a legacy to leave, man, if you just had this thing blow up to a point where we brought a lot of kids who might have otherwise just not knew what they were going to do up under this thing that you guys are building. And I almost said this thing of ours. I'm feeling real Italian right now.
You can say that. You got to take out the ours. This ting. It's a ting.
Yeah, this ting of ours.
Yeah.
All of that, man. So we're gonna, work on a lot of things, man. Get a kids club going on to bring them through. My wife's working on that, and we're gonna develop that up. So the sky's the limit, man. But I'm just glad you guys welcomed us into the team. We team SPO all the way, and I'm looking forward to a bright future with this and giving these kids and the families actually some fun entertainment and something to aspire to. So it's all good, bro.
Hell yeah, Tron. And you know something, man? Honestly,
Yeah.
a new wrestler, someone coming in and wanting to train at the school, we're basically trying to take someone off the street and make them into a brand,
Mm-hmm.
their own brand within our big brand, right?
Who else is doing that, bro? Come on. Who else is doing that but SPO?
Right, but look at how good you are with branding. You're perfect
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah. Well, that's
This
what I
is
said.
working.
We're gonna live my skills. I'm gonna live my skills. Tough Crew, we had to brand ourselves. We were, I guess, man, going back to 87, 88. Yeah, that long ago, we were making clothes to wear specific clothes. I'm trying to think. Yeah, we had our image going on. We came up with our logo, which is the thing I got on my hat here. And if you notice, there's peace signs on the end of the arm. So
Yes.
it stood for dangerous, but we come in peace, but we're dangerous to mess with. So that was something that is still out here. Now we got get hoodies, hats, and all of that like that. And we recognized that part of our identification was going to be our image and our clothing and our attitude. And we sold all of that, man. And we sold over 5 million records. Even though we got robbed out of the publishing, but that's a different story that I'll save for another podcast. But this one right here, man, we on the success path, and with the right branding, we build up our core wrestlers. We welcome guest wrestlers, and we make the whole thing larger than life because it's all about family and fun. Those are good things to build on. Otherwise, me and my wife wouldn't even want to be a part of it. We're all about the positivity. That's what the community needs. So I salute all of you guys. I'm going to give y'all flowers, even Skillz with what you're doing, brother. I'm going to give y'all flowers while I had a chance because it's enough negative out here. And y'all could be doing a lot of shit with your lives, but you chose to do this. And I know it ain't all about the money. I already know that. I see you guys' heart, so the money's going to come, but right now we're building a legacy that y'all can leave for y'all children and for a lot of our kids in our communities. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. And me and G are already bromancing. I'm warning you right now.
Word.
Yeah.
Word.
Wait till we get together next time. We're going to be inseparable, I have a feeling.
Yeah,
That's what's up, bro.
And remember, this Sunday you come out, meet Tone, meet all the stars of SPO Wrestling. There's also some of the stars of the show Gravesend. The TV series Gravesend will be there.
Okay.
Lovari will be there. Hip-hop artist A.gihf will be there. Elena Mizernaya, who she better act fast as she's trying to get with the kid because I got Taryn Manning waiting for me in a couple weeks. So, I got to... But it's going to be a great time, and there's going to be some other great guests there, too. So if you go to Rim Cafe's Instagram and their social media, you can see, no, I'm not on the Rosie O'Donnell set. It's a Jerry Springer set. Come on, man. The Jerry Springer set. Vaughn. But, yeah, and, of course, Fox 29 is going to be there. I would like to have seen them bring Frank Cariello back, the weatherman that was on our book covers in Catholic school. Johnny, remember Frank Cariello, the little fat weatherman? Like, he should be there. He's Italian. You remember Frank Cariello, Tone, right?
I think I do, man.
Yeah.
I think I do. I've been watching this station for a long time.
Yeah.
And I heard Lovari got a hot record out, bro. I heard he got a hot record out.
Lovari's in the top 10
in the UK right now.
In the UK.
Wow. That's dope.
He's killing it.
That's dope. I want to be like him when I grow up.
He's killing it, Tone. Just ask him.
Yeah, he'll tell you.
Right. You're funny.
And Lovari will be performing too on Sunday. That's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah, we're gonna turn up. I might have to do a little bit of my part of town or something while I'm down there too. Give them.
That would be amazing, Tone.
Yes, will be.
That amazing.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, you guys.
Anybody in the chat before we wrap it up? Anybody got any questions for any of us on this panel or dais, whatever we do on the podcast, whatever we're calling it?
We've been popping them up as they've been going. I don't think there's any other ones.
No, any last questions? Any final questions?
Last ones.
I'll say,
Robbie, that you are not on the Rosie O'Donnell set because that would be in another country. Right?
No, I'd be in Ireland. Stupid, fat Rosie O'Donnell.
Pretty soon, the Joey Pantalone set will be in Portugal.
Oh, final thought. What's my final? I'll take care of
Yeah,
you.
give us your final thoughts, Robert. Please, let's put you on the spot.
All right. Final thought.
I'm the worst brother.
You
in the
know,
world.
an escalator this is stolen, but an escalator is never truly broken. It's only temporarily stairs. And I think you could apply that to life.
Ooh, I like that.
Or I'll say this. So here's a final thought, a real final
Like a
thought.
broken clock.
Something I talked to Mayor Roots about the other day.
Shout out to Mayor
Three guys laying bricks. Any thoughts on Palestine and Israel? All right. That's politics and religion in one. So yeah, I wish they would get along. There you go. I wish they would all get along. You got three guys laying bricks. You go up to the first guy, you say, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm laying bricks." You go up to the second guy, say, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, I'm building a wall." You go up to the third guy, you say, "What are you doing?" He says, "Oh, I'm helping build the biggest church in town, and you'll be able to see it from 3 towns over." All three of those dudes are laying bricks. But the thing is two of them are assholes. One of them actually cares about what he's doing. So the moral of my final thought, don't be those other two assholes, even though there's more of them. Be that third guy. Be an individual and care about what you're doing. That's what we're doing here. We're not just running wrestling shows. We're trying to run entertainment shows. We're not just trying to book matches. We're trying to give you stories. We're not just trying to put ourselves over and build a whole company around ourselves because our dreams didn't work out for us and try to tell other people where they can and can't work. Why? Because our lives are good. We could look in the mirror and be happy because we're winners, not losers trying to pay to play and put themselves up in the front. We don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully.
Yep.
Long way.
If I ever have to pay to book myself on top, I'll jump off this deck to my demise. Seriously. Really.
Right.
Really. Tom, could you imagine having to pay for people to play my part of town and having to pay to play and having to put yourself on, right?
Yeah.
That's pathetic, right? It's pathetic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I got some food for thought for you, and this is how we're building. You got 3 people in an arcade. One's got a dime, one's got a nickel, another one's got a dime. They want to play everybody wants to play the pinball machine. You got guys standing there. Now, it's 2 ways I can do it. I could either say, "Man, he's got a dime. I know he got a dime. He showed me. I saw it. I got to figure out a way to get his dime. And this guy here got a nickel. If I can get his nickel, Skillz got a nickel. I figure it out. And I could scheme and plot and scam on getting your dime and your nickel so I would have a quarter. But how long is it going to take us for somebody to say, yo, we got a quarter? Pinball machine got 3 plays. We all can get in the game if we just put that dime and that nickel together. We're all playing. Or we could stand there all day long for a year with a dime and a nickel and a dime scheming on each other. Which one we going to do? You know, so for me, you guys, I'm leaving that with y'all as some food for thought. We're going to play together, and we're going to get a lot farther together than we can get by ourselves. No one man is an island. And that's a curse over Philly. I hate to say it, but a lot of people in Philly, I can't build like I'm building with you guys. I offered it. I tried. I started a record label, got distribution, offered people opportunity to be down with me. They rather take what I have or try to get what I have in some scheming way rather than work with me to build with me for what we could have. So I'm glad that you guys are like-minded, like-spirited, God-fearing individuals that I can do that with. It's a breath of fresh air. Me and my wife was just talking about it because we done tried to build with some people, and it's almost like a curse over the city of brotherly love. That
you know it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just hard to do. It's hard to do. They rather get you than build with you.
Nobody ever wants to put on someone else from Philly.
Yeah.
If you're from Philly, yeah.
That's sad.
And how little bit of how few collaborations compared to New York have you seen amongst the artists in Philly? How many collabs?
Yeah, other than State Property, who all collabed with each other. Not many.
And that collapsed too. That collapsed too because it was built on the wrong foundation. You know what I mean? It didn't stand for what it's supposed to stand for. but they tried, but that still wasn't a collab. That was kind of like they formed a little group a little bit. But I'm talking about just an artist doing with another artist. Right. They can't because they're too. It's like a crab in a barrel mentality. Like I got to get above you. But do you know the crabs? When we buy a barrel of crabs, they all could get out of it if they formed a chain and just the one that got out and they just stayed one hand cling to the other. They would all get out all the way down to the last crab.
Well, there's like there's like a certain bitterness in Philly. Like even like of all people to be coming out, of course it would be Jaguar Wright, the one female MC from Philly that's coming out against everybody. It had to be Jaguar. It had to be somebody from Philly. Or, you know, if anybody was going to slap Chris Rock over Jada Pinkett, it had to be, of course it was going to be Will Smith. There's always going to be some kind, it's like, I lived in Philly my whole life, right? Philly is like you got New York from Marshalls. It's like, it's the city, but there's just something fucked up about it. I hear Gia laughing.
You're not lying, bro. I cram to understand it, bro. But we're gonna show them what it looks like to build and collaborate and do something positive because it's just for the life of me. I can't figure it out, man. Like what I just described to you. I think they'd still be in that arcade, standing around with a dime and a nickel, looking at the darn pinball machine. I think so. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna do things differently, man. I could tell. You guys know what I'm talking about, and so let's show the world what SPO can be, what can happen when people come together and stay solid. We're gonna stay solid. Yeah. That's the word for the evening. Stay solid, gentlemen.
I like it.
I'll definitely need one of those shirts. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
sir. This has been a real pleasure, Tone. I gotta say, this is only our third or fourth episode, and. I don't want to say by far. This is no knock on any of our guests. This is not, this is not a competition or rank. But Tone, this has been something else as far as a podcast goes. It's been really special to be able to genuinely build with you on here, and learn and educate the people that watch this podcast on a lot of stuff that's important and conspiracy theories and all that other stuff. I mean, you have just been an amazing guest, and this is going to be an amazing partnership.
Yes, absolutely,
Mitch. We will party as one.
That's it. And I got you guys back, man. I got you back. So let's go, bro. Let's do it. And I appreciate that, bro. I received that. Much love to each and every one of you guys, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend coming up, and I'm looking forward to the next match, bro. So me and Rick Lay can tear it down.
We will definitely be announcing that next event very soon. But in the meantime, this Sunday, come check us out at the Italian Market. I'm finally back in South Philly. It's been, it hasn't been that long. I got it, but it's been 10 to 11 days since I've been in South Philly, and I will be back.
10 days too long.
I will be back this Sunday at the Italian Market. I know that there's a lot of girls I have history with in that neighborhood. Now's the time to come up and let me see how much weight you've gained. It would be a perfect opportunity on Sunday.
Wow.
You crazy, bro.
Yeah, man.
All the good karma we just built up.
You can come see what you missed out on, girls.
Shut us down.
You, Robbie.
Okay.
Well, thank
you. Crash landing.
Amazing.
Awesome.
And I'm
Thanks so much.
I'm saving myself for Taryn. You know that.
All right.
Yep. Come on out, try the hot chocolate. Try the cotton candy. Come listen to some good music, Lovari. Come just party with us, man. Spend a little bit of Mother's Day with us, and you won't regret it, I'm sure. SPO in the building. Tough crew in the building. We outside.
Let's end it on that.